This is a Rogue Media Network production.
I was getting all my technology figured out.
There's one song that's been running through my head for, I don't know, years, or it seems like years. It's probably been a couple of days, but it's called Honey Butter by Ricky Chilton.
Honey Butter. Honey Butter by Ricky Chilton.
By Ricky Chilton. Right. Yes, very good stuff. If you guys have not checked out Ricky Chilton, check out Ricky Chilton. Available anywhere you get your music.
Anywhere there's a Ricky Chilton.
That's right. Anywhere there's a Ricky Chilton, you'll find Ricky Chilton. How's this sound? Is it okay?
Yeah, you sound great. How do I sound?
Okay,
What's
cool.
my audio?
No,
like?
You sound good. Yeah.
Right.
Man, we got Artie, we got blah blah blah, we got Baby T. We got our cast of characters in the chat.
Alrighty.
I think we are going live. I checked it a minute ago. So it looks like fine.
We are live. Yeah, we are live.
So let's play an intro and get ready.
Bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum bum.
Yep.
Stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. The prairie skies are wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas. Deep in the heart of Texas.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. Here we are.
Yo.
Welcome to Bwaaa, King of the Hill podcast.
I
am Mike, and he is
Rusty. It's a little cold in Texas.
Rusty Headroom. Is what that sounded like.
Headroom.
Yeah, it is a little cold, huh?
It is 16 degrees with a wind chill of probably about 5 right now, I think.
Yeah, Texas is not used to this kind of stuff. I don't think I've heard a car go by in the last 12, 15 hours.
They cancel work 2 nights in a row so far.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Well, you get 10 people call in, you can't really function. So
sure. Well, our buddy Mason, he works for us on the weekends. Comes in and does a few hours here and there during the week, but mostly he works over at Channel 25, the ABC affiliate here in town.
Yes, he is.
And they said we got you a hotel next to the station because we're going to need you during the snowpocalypse.
Yep, there is a hotel right there. It's called Homewood Suites.
Yeah, so I guess they got him a room there. I told him, I said, man, if nothing else, just enjoy staying in a hotel room away from everything that you own. That'll be nice for a night.
Yeah, it's a free, a consequence-free hotel room. I'd be doing backflips off the vending machine.
That's true. Yeah, take everything that you can get your hands on too. My wife has gone to San Antonio. She went early Friday before any of this stuff hit. She's she's in a it's like a retreat, for the upper ooh-la-las at the place she works.
I got you. Yeah.
And they're doing that. And she called me yesterday and she goes, I'm glad you're in a good mood because I got something that's going to piss you off. I was like, what? Oh, shit. Because I don't, I've told you, we've had a lot of stuff happening around here. And
you don't want to hear that. That's the last thing you want to hear.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I got it. What I'm ready. Tell me. She goes, well, we're going to a Spurs game. And I was like, oh, well, that's nice, and because I'm a huge Spurs fan. And she says, yeah, but we're getting a suite. And I was like, shit. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That makes it a little tougher, but
it's a little different. It's a little different.
Either way, happy she's having a good time either way.
I said, oh yeah. I said, well, I'll be looking for you up in the thing. She goes, did they put the cameras up there with the famous people? I was like, yeah, okay. We made a jump real quick.
That's pretty funny. I like
that. All right. Well, how's everybody over there?
We're good. Just buckled down for the long freeze here.
Yeah. We're looking at like Tuesday, I guess, huh?
Yeah, Tuesday morning.
Today is Sunday when we record this
out like Tuesday morning.
Yeah. And we, as Texans, we're just not used to this. It doesn't
it's
come
not. That's
that
why
often.
everything shuts down. Yeah, that's why unless you're like a non-essential employee, a lot of companies just don't. I think it's a liability thing for especially the industry I'm in. It's like we make 3,000% profit on the products that we make. So is it smart to have our highly trained, expensive operators hurt, or should we just let them sit at home for a couple of days? So so far they had us off yesterday, and so far I've already got the call for tonight. So I thought it was ordained by God because UFC 324.
God.
Well, UFC 324 was on last night, and then tonight is the NFC and AFC championship games.
So
I would have had
an
to work
AFC championship games. Yep.
You got that. Work through all of it. So
I'm very excited because we have the two championship games, and then I have the Spurs game that my wife will be in a suite at, but I get to sit here and watch it. And you know what I'm really excited about though, Rusty, is there is my electricity still works, so that's a nice thing.
If it didn't, we couldn't make this possible. So shout out to Encore.
Shout out to Ted Cruz for putting those plugs together.
I think it's because he stayed. I think when he flew back, I think that kind of changed the equilibrium there. But
I love the answer by his person though. Oh no, this was planned way ahead of time. Okay, yeah, sure it was. Yeah. That should do it. We're that stupid. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, just real quick before we get started, these are the three sayings that you are to vote on as Bwaaa fans. These are the T-shirts that we will be making, but we want to make the first one with your help.
The poll is still up. The poll is still up now.
Cool.
Boom Tower is winning.
I would imagine. Number one, you look at the pro bot. He looks at you. You think, hey, things are going to be okay. That's Hank. Then you have, college wasn't for me. They made that very clear. That's Bill. And then the last one, that dang old money's like the wind, man. I only feel it when it's moving, man. Boomhauer. So, we'll check in. I would say let's check in on the Friday episode, and we'll go ahead and see who's winning. Whoever's winning, we'll go ahead and make that shirt and put it out there. Oh wait, Artie's saying something here. He's saying, I think he's saying something about my Spurs, so I will have to read that. Number one, Baby T says, let's do this shit. I hate the cold. Artie says, hey Rusty, hey Mike, hey Mason. Mason's back at channel 25 making sure that the Snowmageddon doesn't kill us all. Blah 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 blah. Says, I think I'm going to have an adult snow day tomorrow, so exciting. That is very exciting. I believe we will as well. Artie says, hey, brother, toss me the ball. Man, I love hoops. I went to a Spurs game before I got with the program. Long story short, lost my job. Damn. That's a lot of info in one post there, Artie. You'll have to send us a certified letter and let us know the rest of it. But these are the three. We'll check in again on Friday. Whatever is winning on Friday, we're going to go ahead and make that shirt. I feel like I'm going to have a little time on my hands tomorrow. And so if I do, I will, I'll make sure that gets up on the show. Okay. I believe that's all of that nonsense. Let's get us back to where we need to be. And today we are dealing with King of the Hill Season 8, Episode 13, or in the year of our Lord, ABE 07. This is called Cheer Factor.
Factor,
and it originally aired March 7th, 2004. And Rusty is just eating the heel end of a loaf of bread. And it says
no, it's fresh sliced bread. It's like fresh bread sliced.
Oh, like homemade bread?
Yeah. Yeah, homemade
Very
bread.
nice. Is it just a white bread or is it a sourdough or?
No, it's just a regular white bread. Yeah, nothing fancy, just a white bread.
Yeah, I buy the Asiago cheese bread from HEB, and it's a very good bread. It's a very good bread.
Yeah.
But every once in a while on the curbside, they bring out a loaf that has not been sliced, and that's a tough one. That's a tough one for me.
It is tough, but the reason why I don't mind that because you get to create the thickness of the bread that you want for the sandwich that you want to create. Because some sandwiches require a thicker slice.
Sure,
and that bread is really good for toasting because it's really soft.
Yes.
It's really
Mhm.
good for toasting and making a toasty with it, or
Yeah.
a grilled whatever.
And when you say toasty, you're talking grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, like a grilled
Yeah.
cheese sandwich,
Yeah.
or ham and cheese, turkey and cheese, whatever,
Sure.
cold cut and cheese you would so
Yeah.
desire.
I'll put it in a frying pan,
Yeah.
and put a little butter down first, and then put it on one side, and then flip it over to the other side, and just let the butter kind of seep
Oh,
in.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think
I
I
like
found out.
I like doing the butter, but then I like grating a little bit of cheese in the butter and then putting
Mm.
the frying the bread on top of it.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can think of that being stuck in this house is going to suck. I ran out of shredded cheese, and the only block I have is
Oh,
Gouda,
no.
so I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. I do have some
Hey,
sliced
Gouda
stuff, so
is a
I'll be all right.
melty cheese, though. Gouda is a
It
very
is.
melty cheese,
It
so
is. It is. Yeah,
you can have
I'll.
some Gouda-ass sandwiches with it.
This is this is definitely first world problems when you say all I have is Gouda in the house, that kind of thing.
Yeah, all I've
Um,
got is Gouda, by God.
all I have is Gouda cheese that
By
was
the grace
made
of God,
somewhere and
yeah.
brought to me. All right, so let's. Peggy takes over as coach of the cheerleading squad and switches the girls from elaborate dance routines to a violent spectacle. This is a good episode.
Yeah, it's all right.
A lot of voice actors in it. This is
Yeah, I was gonna run through that real fast so we can get that out of the way.
yeah, please do.
All right, so Joe Rita is voiced by Perry Gilpin. That's Roz from Frasier. That's the
Yeah.
quickest
Yeah.
one I can give you. Did some other stuff. Perry Gilpin was in Make It or Break It, the ABC family drama series.
Was she in the new Frasier?
No, the old Frasier, I believe. But fun fact about the old Frasier, Frasier's dad is
Yep.
my mom's sister. So my uncle, it's my uncle by marriage, not my mom's brother. It's my mom's
Wow.
sister's husband. It is his cousin. Sorry. It is his
Oh,
cousin.
okay.
They're like first or second cut. They're close, not like distant. They're like first or like Christmas and stuff like that together kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
not
sure.
it's not like he's calling him up and saying, "Hey, bud, let's have a cup of Joe when you're in town." But they were cousins at the family cousin thing. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that's that one. Misty is Danica McKellar, who played Winnie Cooper in
Oh,
Wonder Years.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, that'd be her. And then Carl Moss is voiced
Wait, which
by
one is she?
somebody
Which one is
different
she?
this time. She's Misty.
Oh, okay. All right.
If you remember who Misty is in the episode, yeah, it's Misty. And then Emily is voiced by Ashley Johnson. Ashley Johnson actually takes over the role in Emily from this episode for the rest of the episode she appears in all the way to season 13. Stuart Dooley, obviously voiced by Mike Judge. Ramon is voiced by Pamela Adlon. Terrell is voiced by David Herman. The game announcer is Mac Davis. I don't know who Mac Davis
As in,
is.
like the singer?
I would guess so. Yeah, it'd be Mac Davis.
Old
I
country
guess
singer.
it's the singer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the
what that
country
is.
singer Mac Davis. Yeah, that's
I mean, it
exactly
does-
who it is.
It does fit, but I didn't realize Mac Davis was alive when this happened. Hey,
Yeah.
that
So fun fact about Mac Davis, for those of you that don't know, he actually wrote for Elvis early on in his career, and he didn't just write for Elvis. He wrote like some bangers for Elvis. He did In the Ghetto.
Oh, did he?
Another
I didn't
Little
realize he did
Boy.
In the
He
Ghetto.
did In the Ghetto and Don't Cry, Daddy. The one about the woman who leaves the kids and the dad. He's like, "Don't cry, daddy. Together we'll find a brand new mommy,"
Sure.
or whatever. And
Yeah.
then A Little Less Conversation, which actually they did a re-release. It's called the JXL re-release. They did it in Europe, and
That's a
in
really
England.
good one.
And it was like it was like a clubby type version of A Little Less Conversation. But yeah, so he was actually born and raised in Lubbock as well. So another Lubbock native as far as music goes. My friend's grandmother was born in Lubbock around the same time as this guy, and also at the same time as Buddy Holly. And she actually went to church with Buddy Holly, and she went to the same high school as Buddy Holly. And she had a personal relationship with Buddy Holly as far as like knowing him, because they went to the same church, went to the same high school and stuff like that. Her parents, like her mom and Buddy Holly's mom, used to like have coffee and hang out or something together, something like that. I'll have to see if I can get the pictures from her. It's my friend's grandma. I'll call her and see if I can get them, but she has like actual pictures. And your camera's frozen.
Hang on. All right, how's that? Better?
Oh yeah, you're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I was trying to do too much, which is what.
no,
he's
you're
doing.
okay. The last two are Marilyn/Sunshine, are voiced by the one and only Amy Adams, which is kind of funny
Oh, I
because
love Amy Adams.
This would be like early on in her career. This has to be like some of the first stuff she might have done. I don't know. I don't know
Well,
how
Amy,
long she's been around at this point.
if anybody wants to know who Amy Adams is, go watch the episode Hot Girl from The Office. She's the one selling purses that Dwight's trying to impress.
Yeah.
She also did Night Bitch.
She's also appeared already in an episode before, so this is like her second episode right now of King of the Hill. I want to say that's the only 2 episodes that she's in is the 2, but she played Misty, Marilyn, and Sunshine are the 3 voices that she plays over the whole show. Not Misty in this episode, Misty and My Hair Lady that episode.
Gotcha.
So it's My Hair Lady and Cheer Factor are her 2 episodes.
So the quote that or the thing that Artie posted, he says is a quote from Bill's house, the episode Bill's house, and it says, "Hey brother, toss me the ball, man. I love hoops. Went to a Spurs game before I got with the program. Long story short, lost my job." So I'm sorry, Artie. I thought that was you saying it, but yeah, nice job. Okay, is that all the voices?
That's it. I'm not even going to worry about the directors. The only fun fact about the director and the writer and all that is the writer is a woman named Christy Stratton.
Okay.
She worked on Modern Family and King of the Hill. There's like the 2 big shows that she worked on. She worked on Bless the Hearts as well.
Yeah.
She did 34 episodes of that. She did 30 episodes of Awkward as a executive producer, a TV show called Awkward.
Okay.
Which I've never even heard of that show. It's got that what's her name? Ashley Rickards, I think is her name, the comedian Ashley Rickards.
Is it a Netflix
and
show?
then I think so. It's one of those Netflix, Paramount, Hulu, Netflix, one of those ones.
Yeah.
And then the next one is a duo, director, storyboard artist, animation timer for the long. They both have worked on the show for a pretty long time, doing layouts, whatever. One of them actually worked on Bob's Burgers and stuff like that, but it's
you see a lot of that crossover, don't you?
Young Hee Lim and Hwan Lim. I guess they're either a couple or brothers or sisters and brother-sister. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to know.
So I guess they're brother and
because,
sister.
well, I'm saying it's just hard to know because you don't know those names. Yeah.
Won't You Pee My Neighbor is the episode that they won an outstanding individual achievement for directing in an animated television production Annie Award in 2000.
Okay. All right. Well, let's what do you say we get this thing on the road?
Finally.
These directors usually do Laotian based episodes. Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking. RJ McLean, hello. I wonder how close the movie Bring It On came out to this episode. Yeah, it could be very close.
Could be close.
All right, so we are starting at the football game. Joseph, of course, we know is our quarterback for the King of the Hill Isotopes or whatever they are. And what's their? They're the Longhorns.
Yeah, Longhorns.
Not the Isotopes. That would be another show where everybody's skin is yellow. We're at the football game. Joseph is the quarterback. He takes the snap. He falls back and he gets sacked. We see up in the stands that we've got Bill, Dale, Hank, Peggy. I wrote Dale down again. I don't think there's 2 Dales. And the announcer you hear, and Joseph Gribble is sacked for another loss. And then Dale, of course, common name, no relation. Like he just immediately throws his son under the bus, you know. The crowd is kind of pissed. He's looking around the crowd. He says that to him. And then Hank says, "Come on, we're still in this game. Just 2 touchdowns, a couple of 2-point conversions, an onside kick, and we're just a field goal behind. Come on, let's make some noise." I mean, you talk about the eternal optimist. Good God.
Well, he's a real Cowboys fan, right?
He says, "Let's make some noise," and then Dale goes, "Boo!" Just immediately booing his son. It's just Dale's a bad person.
I think by the time this episode aired, the Cowboys hadn't won a Super Bowl in 4 years at this point. This was actually longer than 4 years. This would be their 8th year not winning a Super Bowl or 9th. 9th year.
Yeah, because this is because the last one they won was what 1994.
96 was their last one.
96. Okay, yeah. So he boos them. The crowd says, "Go Arlen, go Arlen," and then Moss comes through and says, "Go Arlen." Like honestly, Moss is one of the most beaten down men in this episode that you could possibly
in this
be
series,
with.
in the show period. He's always kind of like,
he's pretty beat down.
Yeah.
Here comes Peggy. She says that. Here come the cheerleaders running out. She goes, "Oh, here come the cheerleaders. You think that maybe they'll do a real cheer just this once?" And then the cheer coach, you hear her say, "All right, ladies, let's go. Here we go." And then we have, "It's tricky to rock a rhyme, that's right on time. It's tricky." And they're dancing and stuff. And then they start putting out the fall.
Which that song is, "It's Tricky" by Run DMC.
That's right. Run DMC, It's Tricky.
Rev Run and the boys.
They get out there and they run around a little bit, doing their tricky dance. And Hank says to Peggy, "How's that firing anybody up?" And she goes, "Use the mascot. And she looks down there and she goes, "Look at Bobby. He's just twiddling his hooves." Bobby's down there in his little Longhorn costume, and he's bored, because they don't use him. And you hear a little more tricky, and then you hear the whistle blow, and the announcer says, "And that's the ball game. The Longhorns lose their 4th straight. Principal Moss, who drives a black Altima usually parked in front of the school, thanks you for attending." I mean, Jesus, they're just looking for somebody to take out the principal. They're still dancing down there. We go over to the Hill House bedroom, and of course it's Hank and Peggy in there talking. She is looking through the Arlen High School yearbook. Now it says 197 something. She never moves her hand, so I can't tell exactly what year it is that she's looking through.
1970 something, the world that I grew up in.
I'm assuming it's anywhere between 72 and 79, right? Somewhere in there. Just from what I saw under her finger. She says, "Whatever happened to cheerleaders actually cheering? Alice Bullard. She was the best cheer coach I've ever seen, and she was 98 years old." They show a picture of her in the thing, and it's just an old lady. She got the frilly neck thing, that goes all the way up to her head. She looks like a Victorian librarian, that kind of thing. And she looks very, very old. She goes, and she was 98 years old. I wonder whatever happened to that woman. Well, she died, Peggy. If she was 98, she freaking died. That's what happened.
Fair enough.
Hank says, I remember my junior high in a game against Belton. There's another clue. I just didn't have it. But then our cheerleader started with the be aggressive cheer. And I was. And we won. So he was listening. He got that cheer that said be aggressive. And he was like, "Okay, we'll do it," and he was just aggressive. It's really good. Peggy says, "Hank, I'm going to do us all a favor. I'm going to help that new cheerleading coach get her act together." Hank rolls over and she goes, "I really did stay sweet." Now, what she's doing is she's looking in her yearbook. You know how you always sign them, and apparently somebody signed in her yearbook, "Stay sweet," Billy or whatever. And she's looking at it and goes, "I really did stay sweet." She is so full of herself. This is the shitty Peggy episode, definitely.
Definitely a shitty Peggy episode. Yeah. Not a big fan of Peggy.
We are at Tom Landry Middle School gym with the cheer coach, and Peggy walks in. She's Peggy Hill at your service. And cheerleading coach, who's played by who, you said?
The cheerleading coach?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Her name is like Luann or Leanne or Lonely Land or something.
Is it Joe Rita? No,
Joe Rita. There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Perry Gilpin.
Gilpin.
Frasier. Rawls from Frasier.
Okay.
Yeah.
She says,
but I had some fun facts real fast about cheerleading.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so before cheerleading, it was like the 1860s when like intramural sports and stuff were going on. So before all these sporting events, it was just people in their yard having fun. And then eventually it turned to students. And then eventually it came over here to the United States. So the first intercollegiate football game was between Princeton and Rutgers. And they were cheering then, but they had organized cheer in the 1877-ish. It was documented in the Princeton University paper. And so Princeton cheer that like they called it Princeton cheers. So that's what they
Right.
said. It was like hurrah, 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 tiger, boom, ah, or some shit like that. But it
Boom,
was
ah.
yeah, boom, ah. But it was Princeton, and it was actually originally an all male activity, cheer leader. Like
Right.
not like
Right.
cheerleader, like we say now. It was like cheerleader. It was like two separate.
That's when they had that
things.
giant cone or whatever, and they'd be out there, yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So there was a Princeton graduate in 1882 named Thomas Peebles. So he moved to Minnesota, and at the University of Minnesota, he transplanted the idea of organized crowds cheering at football games. So the term cheerleader was started to be used around 1897. There was like people they called cheerleaders. There's like specific students that they have the names for here for that. But they even had a fraternity around it. And the original yell leader thing, it was like a squad of like 6 male students, and the first one was at University of Minnesota. And by 1923, they started allowing women to do it. And then what happens? Everybody goes to war. So when everybody went to war, and they used to call male cheerleaders chap, fellow, or man. But so when
Chap
the
leaders?
women, yeah, that's what they were called. Chap, fellow, or man is what they called
Okay.
male cheerleaders. But so girls took over cheerleading when men went to war in the 40s. And there's a jump called the herky. There's like this jump that the cheerleader girls do. It's called like a herky, where they like do their legs
Herky-jerky?
like a certain way. And that was invented in Huntsville, Texas, by a guy named Lawrence Herkemeyer.
Who
So
jumped
there you
off
go.
the back of a truck.
He also patented the pom-pom and
Oh.
founded the National Cheerleading Association. So if that's when you want to consider the official cheerleading as we know it now, it was in 1951 was when that association was founded and became what it is today. The first professional cheer squad in the NFL was for the Baltimore Colts. And I'm done. That's it, yeah.
Daddy, who do we have to thank for the pom-pom? Well, me, son. You have me to thank for the pom-pom.
Herkemeyer is
that's
my name.
Herkemeyer's my name. Pom-poms are my game. All right, so we're at the Tom Landry Middle School gym. Peggy comes in. The cheer coach is already there. She goes, Peggy Hill at your service. She goes, oh, great. Grab a handle. This thing weighs a ton. And what she's moving is if you've ever been in a gym, they have those fold-out padded things that go on the floor, right? So that you can do tumbling and stuff. But those things are super heavy. Especially
Tumble
when you
mats.
fold them up and stuff. Yeah, tumble mats, but they're super heavy because it's one big piece, you know?
Yeah.
So she says, grab a handle. This thing weighs a ton. Peggy says, wow, I feel like I'm already making an impact. Now, how else can I help get the cheerleaders on track? And the cheerleader coach takes a little bit of a, she doesn't like this. She goes, on track? Does this look like the vest of a coach who's not on track? She's got a vest on that's got all these patches, you know, from things that they've been to and stuff. She goes, FYI, we had 2 wins at the Slim Fast Invitational and 1 at Tampax. I love the fact that it's Slim Fast and Tampax are the 2 places they've been.
Yeah.
Peggy says, yes, very impressive. But I have noticed that the cheerleaders are not really spending any time backing the football team. And the cheer squad instructor says, cheer squad doesn't get trophies for how good the football team does. We get them for motion and dance, basket tosses, jumps, and attitude. You know, cheerleading has changed since your day. Wait, you never had a day, did you? You weren't a cheerleader. She's sniffing her out, right?
Nope,
And
she wasn't.
And Peggy says, no, but only because people who thought they knew me, but clearly would not let me. Well, that just means you weren't allowed to be a cheerleader, Peggy. She goes, well, welcome aboard. Oh, and that mat has to go all the way over there. And so Peggy starts dragging it over. So basically, she's gotten her a little slave here that she can just tell to do whatever.
Whatever she wants.
Yeah. So now we're in the alley with all 4 guys, and Hank says, Peggy's going to help coach the cheerleaders at Landry. Says they're going to do real cheers. Dale, good, but what we need to get rid of is Principal Moss. Maybe I should put bourbon in his thermos and try to knock him off the wagon. Man, that is a rough. That's a rough one. Yeah,
that is rough.
Bill says, don't worry, he can't hide behind improved test scores forever. Well, isn't that exactly what you want from your principal?
Yeah. I guess
I would think that'd be exactly what you want. From the inside, we hear Peggy say, Hank, dinner. He goes, pardon me. He goes, excuse me, fellas. I got to go have dinner with a cheerleader. He's very excited about this. He leaves. Bill, of course, is the first one to say, why does everything good happen to Hank? It's the same
Yeah.
thing, Bill. It's the same people. Same people. All right. Now we're at Tom Landry Middle School. We're at the track at the football field, and they're practicing cheers. Everybody blames the principal, not the football coach. Yes, that's exactly right, Artie. And
That's
that tends to be
exactly right.
it tends to be what happens still to this day. They are practicing cheers. Bobby is on the bench. He's in his suit. He's on the bench, but Connie's sitting right next to him. And Connie says, cheerleaders. Why does everybody think they're so special? I could be covering the debate tournament finals right now. And you see Peggy in culottes with pom-poms come in and stand there. And she goes, your mom's a cheerleader? Bobby says, wow, I thought it was just more of a big talk. Maybe she really did see Dan Rather at the mall. That is so funny to me that he understands that his mom is just a blowhard. You know, I think
that is absolutely. That makes it even
that
funnier.
is hilarious. Yeah, yeah. And we hear this from Peggy. Okay, girls, who's ready to make some noise? And then they just all kind of stare at her. She goes, right. Our first lesson will be how to make some noise. The cheerleader coach says, I don't have time for this. I need a new top of the pyramid. We just lost our lightest girl to homeschooling. We just lost our lightest girl to homeschooling. That's a good quote as well. Peggy says, problem understood and solved. And she thinks, but how? Connie, how would you like to be top of the pyramid? She says, problem understood and solved, and then says to herself, but how? I mean, that's she goes, how would you like to be top of the pyramid? She goes, huh? And then he grabs her, throws her in the air, and catches her. And the cheerleading coach says, oh, nice hang time. You want to be a cheerleader? She goes, me? Are you kidding? Like she was just making fun of cheerleaders, but now the opportunity has arisen.
Everybody loves to be included.
Yeah. Everybody wants to be included, and when you're not, you make fun of it. All right, so now we're at the game. We're at another football game. And Connie is standing there waiting for everybody to kind of get there and get ready. And some girl comes by who's in her class, and she goes, hey, smart girl from my algebra class, why are you dressed like a cheerleader? Connie says, because I am a cheerleader. She goes, oh, cool. Well, you want to come to a sleepover? We're going to sit around and make fun of everybody. And Connie's like, ooh, like she's just giddy over the fact that she's going to be included with these popular kids. In comes Peggy, and she's got her headset on, kind of like her Garth Brooks, Britney Spears headset, you know. And she goes, cheer one is cheer two. If you can hear me, give me a Y. And she looks at Connie and goes, oh, you could not look any cuter if you were dangling a kitten. Connie says, you know, it's amazing. I put on this outfit, and it's like, what's the opposite of invisible? I've never had to know. Poor Connie. Poor little Connie. She goes, you know what? Thank you, Mrs. Hill. Yeah, no kidding. She goes, thank you, Mrs. Hill. And then Joe Rita, the cheerleader instructor, goes, okay, girls, who's ready to turn this mother out? MC Hammer is. Get in formation. And then we hear, you know, MC Hammer playing in the background. And Peggy goes, or we could get the crowd into the game. How about a cheer? Go Longhorns. And the cheerleading coach looks at her and says, Peggy, the last thing we need for our cheerleaders to be distracted by the game. What I do need is for you to find my purse. She goes, find your purse? She goes, yes. Oh, and tell Karen Smelko I said hi. She's on the fourth row up, not counting the first row. Peggy says, I will get the purse, but I am undecided on the greeting. And she disappears into the stands.
She's becoming the gopher.
She is just a gopher. She was just a gopher. She moved the mats. Now she's finding her purse. Now she's saying hello to Karen Smelko. I want to meet this Karen Smelko, though.
Yeah, where's she from?
I don't know. I don't know what Karen Smelko's deal is, but I'd like to know. It is the fifth row. Yes, Artie. It is the fifth row. It says only for her to become a hoe in season 14. Yes, that's true. That's true. Okay, so in the stands, Moss shows up. He's like, you know, moving over to his seat next to Hank, and he goes, sorry I'm late. Took longer than I thought to wash the eggs off my car. Then in comes Dale. Sorry I'm late. Took longer than I thought to egg Moss's car. So you got two as part of that sitting on either side of Hank. Peggy comes up to the stands. She's still got her Garth Brooks headset on, and Hank says, hey, Peggy, shouldn't you be down there spelling things with your arms? She goes, no, Hank, I have a different job. Karen Smelko? Like she's looking around to find Karen Smelko. You hear the announcer say, Arlen has the ball, 4th and goal, and they're going for it. Hank says, they hadn't converted a 4th down all season. They're going to need the crowd behind them. Then you hear Joe Rita down at the field. She goes, okay, let's take a break. We've got our 80s mega mix coming up. And they leave the field, which this kind of is the way it is at bigger schools now. The cheerleaders really have nothing to do with the sporting events. It's because cheerleading has become a sport.
Yeah, it's definitely a sport of its own. Yeah, television has proven that. I mean, like the whole Bring It On era and all that.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay, so Peggy sees this. She goes, where are they going? They're braiding each other's hair? Oh, that does it. She whistles to the crowd, and she stands up, and she starts her cheer of her own. Arlen, fight, fight, fight. Push that ball with all your might. Come on, let's help our boys before it's too late. Everybody starts joining in. Arlen, fight, fight, fight. Push that ball with all your might. Arlen, fight, fight, fight. Push that ball with all your might. So the whole crowd is into it.
Fight.
We're down on the field. Joseph hears it. He looks up there, and he goes, well, you heard him. Let's push that ball with all your might. He's such an idiot. And they push it, and he gets it right over the goal line, and then the whistle blows, and then Peggy's like, oh, yeah. And a fan says, hey, Hank, your wife just reminded me of why I love football. Winning! And then Dale's like, say, Moss, we need more of that and less of this. And he gets up and he's starts, like gyrating and stuff around like the way the girls were doing. Over the walkie-talkie, we hear in Peggy's headset, and because of you and your chanting, Francine just nailed a standing backflip that no one saw. Moss says something to Peggy. He goes, that was something, Peggy. Look, how'd you like to replace Joe Rita as the cheerleading coach? She's like, me? Well, excuse me for one moment. She goes, to get on the headset. Joe Rita says, Peggy, we're supposed to keep this channel open for uniform emergencies. She goes, sorry. I just wanted you to give Karen Smelko a message for me. This is the shitty part of Peggy right here. I want you to give Karen Smelko a message for me. Principal Moss just made me the new cheerleading coach. And then on the other end, you hear, what? And then she just turns off the walkie-talkie, and she shakes hands with Moss, and now they have made Peggy the new cheerleading coach, which seems like a bad idea. Seems like a real bad idea.
Terrible idea. I don't think I would want her coaching anything or teaching Spanish. Those are the two things.
Please don't be around my children, Peggy. Yeah. And that is our first commercial
Peggy,
break. Huh?
Go home. Go home, Peggy.
Right. Go home, Peggy. You're drunk. We'll take this first commercial break, and we will be
right back.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated. Each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Since 2003, we've been connecting buyers and sellers, providing access to sold-out events at prices lower than most secondary market options. Whether it's sports, theater, or concerts, our massive nationwide network ensures you get the tickets you want, guaranteed. For the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. That's TICKETLIQUIDATOR.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Why, hello, we are back.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that. Deep in the heart of Texas. Yeah.
It is pretty nice, yeah. All right, so we have left, or when we left, Peggy was made the new cheerleading coach, which again just seems like a bad idea, but maybe it's not. All right, so in the now we are at the Tom Landry Middle School gym. The cheerleaders are in there with Peggy. The girls are kind of chatting. Peggy comes in. She goes, "Attention, ladies," and a bullhorn goes. And the cheerleaders are like, "Where's Joe Rita?" She goes, "It is not important where she is. What is important is why she's not here." And by the way, Peggy has brought in a big director chair with her name on or just coach on the back of it. The girls say, "Why is she not here?" She goes, "Because she did not understand the role of a cheerleader to get the fans fired up, to bring the crowd into the game, to give our team the extra edge that can turn a narrow defeat into a certain victory." Then Connie says, "Do we still get to wear our uniforms to school on Fridays?" She says, "Yes." They go, "Oh, okay." They just don't care who it is as long as they get to keep their standing as cheerleaders. So,
oh, yeah, that's all it's about. It's a status symbol.
Now we're at a pep rally. We are hearing the cheerleaders, and the cheerleaders are, Arlen, fight, fight, fight. Push that ball with all your might. Woohoo, yeah. And then Joe Rita's in the stands watching this, and she's right next to Moss.
Salty.
Goes, yeah, because she says, what ball is she talking about? You know, like, it's the damn football, Joe Rita. But, yeah, okay. And then you hear Peggy say, "Do the 2-point conversion cheer." And then they cheer, "Hey there, coach, what you going to do? Are you going to kick or go for 2? And everybody cheers kind of. And to the crowd, the stands are just like, what the hell is happening here? Because the cheerleaders have not really cheered this way before. You know, they cheer for themselves, basically. So the kids don't know what to do. Nobody knows what to do.
She's reinventing the position.
Yeah. And the crowd is just kind of stunned. But she says to the crowd, "Perhaps I didn't set that up properly. We would do that cheer after we scored, but only when it would be advantageous for us to get 2 points." Once again from the top. And then the crowd is just super stunned. So, Moss says, "Hey there, coach." And Joe Rita says, "Well, this is all going to hell." He goes, "Oh, man, I can't have bored kids in an assembly. It's asking for trouble. I'm going to cue the band." And then you hear the band start up, and she goes, "Oh," Peggy says, "Oh, no, not the band." The band starts playing. She goes, "Okay, I can't save the cougar for the finale. Misty, put this on and chase your tail like an idiot." Now, what she's telling her to put on is a cougar costume since they are playing the Cougars next. She wanted to have some sort of a like a, you know, we're going to take out your mascot kind of deal, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
She tells Misty to put on there's Misty. She tells her to put on the cougar costume. I don't know what is going on with my stupid camera here. Hang on. I'm going to fix something real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
Let's see if that's any better. Oh, there we go. That's better. All right. Everybody's seasick now. That's great. Okay. Got the camera fixed. She says, you know, "Oh man, there's trouble. I'm gonna make the band play." So he cues the band. She tells her to put on the cougar outfit. She tells Misty to put on the cougar outfit and chase your tail like an idiot. The band's still playing. Misty's over there like, "Oh, it won't fit." She goes, "Yes, it will. It'll fit. Come on, it's for the team." She starts smacking on the thing to get it onto Misty. And then from the kids in the crowd, they see her smacking on this cougar, and they go, "Yeah, kill that cougar. Yeah, choke it." Like, immediately to violence. And then
No hesitation.
Peggy picks up on it, and she goes, "Quick, everybody, beat the crap out of Misty." And then Misty's like, "What?" And then in the crowd, you hear, "Yeah, kick its butt, Connie." I mean, they are beating the crap out of poor Misty, who is in this cougar costume. But Peggy has found her thing that's going to make the cheerleaders cheer real hard and the crowd get into it. Next, a little time goes by, and you hear Peggy in the gym to the cheerleaders later. Now, she has a box behind her. That box is full of something. She goes, ladies, I have learned something today. People like violence. From now on, we will demoralize their teams by systematically mock-secuting, so like executing but not real, mock-secuting the mascot. She shows the box. It's full of knives. She goes, everyone take a knife. Now, I'm assuming these are all rubber knives, right?
I would hope so, yes.
Because if they're real knives, Peggy is inducing murder. I mean, she just wants somebody to get murdered.
Potentially, absolutely.
Misty picks up one of the knives and she goes, is it stab, stab, stab? She goes, no, it's stab, a stab. Like, I think there's two different cadences. Stab, a stab. Not stab, stab, stab.
Stab,
she goes,
stab, stab.
She goes, okay, let's have a run through. Misty, get in the cougar costume. She goes, costume smells like butt, and it's really more of an ugly girl job. Bobby, never letting a crisis go to waste, steps right in front and goes, I'll do it. He's ready. He put me in something and let me get the hell beat out of me.
He's locked in.
So now we're at a game, and Bobby is in the cougar costume, and you hear from the cheers, hey there, hi there, we won't gloat. We stabbed the cougar in the throat, and when at last the cougar's dead, we'll make him see red, red, red. And they're just beating on the cougar and stabbing him. He falls over and goes, I am slain. And then you hear fight, 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 fight coming from the crowd. And then Bobby is like, fight. I'm so cold. You know, he just like dies as the cougar. We're back at Tom Landry Middle School. It is the lunchroom. And we hear a teacher say to Dooley as he comes in, Dooley has a hat on that has little horns on it. So he's supporting the team. The teacher says, no hats in the lunchroom, Dooley, take it off. He goes, I'll die in these horns, and just keeps going.
That's a good one. I like that.
I'll die in these horns. The teacher sitting at the popular table as Peggy is looking for a place to sit goes, hey, Peggy, why don't you sit with us today? She goes, oh, sweet Jesus, the cool table. She goes over, sits down, and then Joe Rita comes in. She walks up, and you have to assume that Joe Rita has been part of this cool table for a while, right? And the lady looks at her and goes, oh, I'm sorry, Joe Rita, pull up the step ladder. So she makes her pull a freaking step ladder over to sit on because there's no chairs left. You talk about falling down a couple of notches on this popular scale.
Hey,
Peggy,
Mike, there's an echo on your end.
You're getting an echo?
I can hear myself, yeah.
Oh, let's see. Hang on one second. Let me see what I've done here. Echo cancellation. Let's try this. Reduce background noise. How about that? Is that any better?
Hello.
Better?
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Better? All right. So we're at the game. And then they fight. They kill the cougar. Bobby is slain. We're in the lunchroom. There's no place for anybody to sit. They make Joe Rita pull up a step ladder to sit at the cool girls table or the cool teachers table. And then Peggy says, you know, Joe Rita, I could use some help. She goes, you want me to find your purse? She goes, no, I want you to be my assistant. She goes, I'd love to. Now, Joe Rita has a look on her face like, you know, this is not what she actually wants. This is what she knows that she can get over on Peggy with.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so it's got a very like Mean Girls vibe to it. The teacher, one of the other teachers says, so Peggy, give us a scoop. What do you got planned for the Yellow Jackets this weekend? She goes, well, we have this Yellow Jacket costume and we're going to put someone in it and we're going to stab it. The teacher's like, that's it? Another stabbing? And then Joe Rita says, she kind of smirks and she goes, hey, maybe doing the same thing over and over again will be our thing. It won't be boring. No, it'll be comforting. So Joe Rita is a real ass here. She is just trying to get to Peggy and get over on Peggy and prove that Peggy does not deserve this job because she wants her job back. So we're in the gym. We're in the gym later. Peggy's talking to the girls and she says, ladies, we have a problem. Knife play is just not enough anymore. Ideas, Yellow Jacket, go. And then Connie says, we could rip open its thorax and stuff it with its own abdomen. She goes, Bobby, how's your death rattle? He's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. She goes, great. Now, who do we play after that? The cheerleaders say, the Boswell Bears. She goes, okay. Now, how do you make a bear suffer? And this shows you how much stress Connie is under, because the first thing she goes to is you tie it up and torture its young. I mean, that's rough, Connie.
That's super rough.
Connie, you tie it up and torture its young. And she goes, Peggy says, there's no mascot we can't torture. Now, we kind of go through a little bit of a montage here. We see Bobby dressed as a shark, and they kill it. We see Bobby dressed as a cobra. They kill it. So this is going really well. They're just killing off all the mascots at these games, right? And that's what's keeping the crowd involved. The crowd wants to see them take down the mascots, beat the hell out of them. Now, again, we're at the lunchroom with Peggy and Joe Rita. And Peggy says, okay, Joe Rita, who's next? She goes, the tornadoes. How are you going to kill a tornado? She goes, shoot it. I mean, just almost immediately shoot it.
Shoot it.
Well, whenever I worked at Texas State Technical College, our mascot was a tornado for a while. And
I didn't know that.
Somebody would come out in a tornado costume. The thing that drove me nuts about the tornado costume is that it's wearing a cowboy hat. Okay, I can get over that because it's cute and all that kind of stuff. But at the bottom of the tornado, one leg is the spout of the tornado. The other leg is a human leg. And so really, really what you're doing is you're saying someone has just gotten sucked up in this tornado. Now let's have some fun. You know, I mean, that's
I guess so, yeah. I guess that's the implication, yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. There's somebody dying in this tornado, but let's have some fun, guys.
Well, they're not dying. They're just not in Kansas anymore.
That's true. They're being taken long distances by a funnel of wind. All right, so we're in the lunchroom with Peggy and Joe Rita. She says, who's next? She says, tornado. She goes, okay, shoot it. Moss comes in and says, good news, because of all the school spirit, game attendance is up. Peggy's like, I know, the ushers cannot keep up with the after-game garbage. And then walks off saying, yeah, but none of this will mean anything unless we beat McManerberry at homecoming. Peggy, I'm giving you the halftime show. Well, this is a huge deal. It's at the McManerberry game, so you know it's the big one.
It's massive.
Peggy says, it'll be my finest hour. Now, who's McManerberry? She goes, the Fighting Irish. She goes, fighting, fly on the wall. So she's trying to think through this thing. She goes, maybe the other part, the Irish. That's got fertile territory. She goes, Irish, fly Irish. No, don't force it. Let it come to you, Peggy. She goes, people have made fun of the Irish in the past. Maybe you can build on their work. You know, my husband keeps several ethnic joke books in the bathroom. I'll find something good. So Peggy is hard at work trying to come up with a way to kill the Irish during that game against McManerberry. Why are they the Fighting Irish too, by the way? But whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Now
we're at the game against McManerberry. The crowd is cheering Longhorns. And then the announcer says, and that's the end of the first half. The Longhorns leading 31-2. Hank's up in the stands with the guys, and he goes, well, the playoffs are a lock. Peggy says the halftime show is going to be high school caliber. And then down on the field, we get Peggy saying, okay, girls, this is it. Misty, grab the rainbow. Everyone else, get out your shillelaghs. They have no idea what that is. She goes, beating sticks. And they're all just like, oh, there it is. And all have the beating sticks. She goes, where's Joe Rita? The buckets of blood are in her car. She goes, all right, go. And then in the stands, you see Joe Rita. She's bringing in some Irish guests because she knows what she's doing here. She's setting Peggy up to be the spectacle here, to do something terrible.
Yeah.
And she says to the stand, she goes, I'm so glad you could make it, Mr. Flannery, Mr. Finnerty, Mrs. O'Brien Diaz. I mean, I just think it's funny that her name is O'Brien Diaz.
When I think of Finnerty, I think of Sean Finnerty from, what was that show with the Irish guy and his girl and his wife, and he had a brother named Eddie, and he had his dad, and he had 2 kids. Grounded for Life. That's
Grounded for Life. What a good show that was. Yeah.
That was really good. I like that show.
Very good show.
Yeah, that was a good, funny one.
I remember the one where they were playing like the floor was lava and stuff, and they were jumping all over the place. And it's just a good show. Yeah, Shitty Joe Rita, but I think Shitty Joe Rita is always Shitty Joe Rita. Peggy becomes Shitty Peggy, I believe. All right, so she seats all these Irish people, and she goes, oh, here, use my binoculars. And she hands them binoculars to use so they can get a really good look at what's about to happen on the field. And she says she brought enough for everybody, gives binoculars to all three of the Irish people watching this. You hear the crowd cheering, and the girls push out a cauldron, and you hear this, like this Irish brogue being played. Bobby falls out of the cauldron. He is dressed as a leprechaun. He is drunk as hell, or pretending to be drunk. And in his Irish brogue, he says, "Top of the morning to you, Ireland. I'm Irish. I hope I don't die from a wee bit of the consumption," and then falls down. And then the girls
I thought consumption was tuberculosis.
It may be. But he sees the cheerleaders behind him, and he breaks the bottle off like he's going to fight them, with a broken bottle. And over in the you hear Connie say, "Sorry, Fighting Irishman, but your jig is up." And then the audience says, "Beat him, get him, beat him, beat him, beat him." And they start beating on the leprechaun. And the Irish people are like, "Oh, dear God," they see all of this. It's not good. It's not good.
At all.
A couple minutes later, everyone's kind of waiting around. Hank's they're waiting. The halftime show is over, so they've beaten up a drunk Irishman for halftime, and now they're waiting for the it is TB, but that's okay. It's funny. And then they're waiting for the McManaberry team to come back out because second half is supposed to start. Everybody's just kind of waiting around. You can tell they're all checking their watches. Hank is like, "Are they ever coming out here? I bet they're trying to keep the quarterback from crying."
Yeah.
Everyone's still waiting in the stands. Dale says, "My legs are falling asleep." And he gets up and he just falls right over. On the field, Peggy is saying, "Okay, we're in their heads. Right now, they're in there wishing they had joined the tennis team." And then Moss walks up and he goes, "Peggy, Fighting Irish aren't coming out." She goes, "Oh, my God, we have cheered them into submission." He goes, "Actually, they're protesting the game." She's like, "What? Why?" He goes, "Because of what you did to that leprechaun. Peggy, they're saying you committed a hate crime." Bobby says in the best line of the show, Bobby says, "Oh, there goes me liver," and just falls over. That is our second Irish break. Good. We'll take that second break.
Irish joke. Well, there goes me liver.
Oh, there goes me liver. All right, we'll take a second break, and we'll be
right back.
There it is.
Join the Daily High Club, the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and accessories. Since 2015, we've sold over 1 million quality products and teamed up with legends like Snoop Dogg and Tommy Chong. Ready to elevate your smoking game? Visit dailyhighclub.com for our El Primo subscription box or shop unique pieces today.
Discover the world of luxury sex toys at Luxury Toy X and indulge in the ultimate pleasure experience. For years, we have been dedicated to the belief that sexuality and wellness are essential components of a happy and healthy life. With over 70,000 satisfied customers, we take pride in our ability to provide products that enhance your sexual well-being. Join our community of satisfied customers and unlock a world of pleasure and self-discovery. Visit luxurytoyx.com today.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
I'm Hunter, the founder of Hello Cake, and today we're digging into ED meds. The number one thing we hear is that guys are sick of waiting for ED meds to kick in. Traditional ED meds take about an hour to kick in as they have to go through your digestive system, where Hello Cake's ED medication dissolves under your tongue and works in about 15 minutes. That's about 3 times faster than traditional ED medication. Curious about ED meds? Go to hellocake.com.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
Baby girl, were you staring at me? You know that's not convincing, right? Try again. Well, you shouldn't just be staring then. You should taste.
I miss your presence, your laughter.
I miss your presence, your laughter.
I miss your presence.
All right, so we are back. Bobby has just committed a hate crime along with his mother, and we are at the Arlen District Office. Now, there is a crowd there. Hank is in a suit, so you know it's serious. The Irish people are there, and they are testifying during this thing. Hank is outside, and he goes, I can't believe the school board is thinking about taking away our win. All right, way to go with that exposition there. Peggy says, as long as we stand firm, we got nothing to worry about. Now, we're inside, and we're taking some of this, some of the testimony. And one of the Irish guests is saying, now, I can take a joke as well as the next person, but Peggy Hill has gone too far. What she did on that field is no different than what the British have been doing to our brothers in Ulster for the last 800 years. The forced labor, the seizure of property, the stifling, and the oppression of our precious mother tongue. Longan Bertha, ear, I, Clemengan, and ire. I don't know if I said that right. I don't think I did. Peggy says, I have no idea what he just said.
It matters.
Say it again.
So I don't know that it matters.
I don't think it does either. Peggy says, I have no idea what he just said, but I do know what McManerberry refused to play. They forfeited the game. And then we hear from the guy. And after the game, someone called me Pat in the parking lot. It's my name, but they had no way of knowing that, which I think is a great, that's a great joke.
I think it's a perfect joke.
And then from one fan in the crowd, he reaches over and starts talking to Moss, who's watching this. He goes, that ain't good, Moss. They're going to take away our win. Do something now. Dale shows him that he's brought a bunch of eggs that they could throw if he wants to do that. Moss says, hold on. It'd be a shame to take this win away from our boys just because of Peggy. That would be blaming the victim. And then you hear this murmured agreement kind of come from the stands. Peggy says, what? You were all behind me when it was Cougars and it was Bears and it was Mudhawks. It would have been disrespectful of me not to bludgeon the Irishman. And Moss says, Peggy, shush. And you can see the people judging this. They're just up there writing. So you know it's probably not going to turn out well. Now we're at Tom Landry Middle School in the gym. Peggy is talking to the cheerleaders, and I guess they're still deciding on what's happening. She goes, whatever the board decides, I want you to know I am proud of you. And maybe I did get caught up in my own popularity, lose my focus, because it's really not about torture or beatings or maiming per se. She goes, it's about backing your team and inspiring them to victory. Moss comes in, and not only does Moss come in, but one of the things that doesn't get mentioned is he has a green tie and a shillelagh on his, or a shamrock on his jacket. So he has been playing it up to the Irish folks.
Oh yeah, he is. He's definitely playing it up. He's cosplaying.
You're never gonna see Moss. Not give in to pressure. He's always gonna give in to pressure.
He
goes,
cave. Yes, he does cave.
Good news, Peggy. They let us keep our W. She goes, oh, we're going to the playoffs. Woohoo! Big dance. Well, don't worry about my team is ready. He goes, sorry, Peggy. I'm going to have to ask you to stop using words like team and my. I'm putting Joe Rita back in charge. She goes, what? Joe Rita? She goes, now you can keep teaching Spanish, but we're going to have to keep an eye out in case you decide to go after those people, which I thought was fantastic. Just in case you decide to go after the Spanish people, we're going to keep an eye on you. She goes, this is crazy. The only thing I hate is watching dance routines while our team loses another game. And Joe Rita says, Peggy, why don't you show these girls how to lose gracefully? She goes, I will not. I will not show them how to lose gracefully. She goes, and if I go, the cheerleaders will go in V formation right behind me. Right, girls? All the girls are like, no. So they're not leading. One of the cheerleaders says, I'm sorry, Mrs. Hill, but we like being cheerleaders a lot. We feel so bad. She goes, you too, Connie. She goes, can't go back. Sorry. Like Connie has hit that good life. She can't go back now.
I think that's funny.
And so they say, Moss says, we'll need you to turn in your vest, for future coaches named Peggy. which I think is great.
Future coaches
Yeah.
named Peggy.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Speaking about how he always gives in, Artie says Moss fakes a heart attack rather than being a deciding vote in a PTA meeting, which, yeah, you're right about that.
Absolutely right.
And yes, baby T, Peggy does not know how to lose gracefully. You're absolutely right about that as well. All right. So there is a girl. Well, no, I'm sorry. We are back at the Hill House. Peggy is depressed. She's in the living room. She's just in her bathrobe, just click, click, click with the remote. Hank comes in the room and he says, Peggy, me and the boy have worked up a little something here. Bobby's in his Longhorn suit. Hank clears his throat and he goes, 2, 4, 6, 8. Who should the Longhorns appreciate? And then Bobby's like, Mom. And he comes out and he goes, he does a little flip. He falls over the chair. So poor,
kind of cringy.
poor Bobby. Yeah. But then Hank reaches down to her and he goes, I got great seats. And he's showing her the tickets. She goes, I told you I'm not going to the game. After all I did, nobody stood up and said, I know Peggy Hill. She's no hate monger. That's all they all just cut and ran. Even Peggy, even Connie. He goes, you know who didn't back out on you, Peggy? The team. Dang it, this is the big game. What happens when the other side yells, we got spirit? Yes, we do. We got spirit. How about you? Well, Peggy, how about you? And it finally sinks into her. I love the use of that, though. That's so good.
How about you, Peggy? How about you?
So we're now at the Arlen game. It's a home game. There's a girl, and I can't remember her name, but she's always out in the she's the one that plays like Moss's assistant. She's like in, I don't know, 6th, 7th grade or whatever, and she's got on one of those reflective vests, like a hall monitor thing.
Yeah.
I want to say her name's Debbie, but I'm not sure if it is.
Could be.
But she goes, the Hill, Emily, there you go. The Hills come walking up. They're just going to go to the game. She goes, sorry, Miss Hill. Principal Moss gave me strict orders not to let you in. Hank's like, what? That's ridiculous. She goes, stay out of this, sir. Our beef's not with you. So they turn around and they have to leave. Next thing you see is Hank and Peggy are sitting on the back of the truck, and they've got the radio on, listening to the guy call the game. They can kind of see the game over the little hill there. And so they want to be a part of it. You hear the announcer say, and the cheerleaders seem to be doing another human pyramid. Oh, the Arlen quarterback gets leveled. So Joseph has gotten sacked again. We look over at the sign, and it says 28-3 Longhorns, Bulldogs. And, of course, Longhorns have the 3. You hear music start to play. You hear hip-hop start to play. And the cheerleading coach says, come on, girls, I'm only seeing Freak. I want to see Super Freak. So you're hearing the song Super Freak. And then you hear
kind of weird.
It is kind of weird because, honestly, the music that's playing is Salt and Pepper. But,
well, they're teenage girls too. You tell them teenage girls to be super freaks.
Well, even preteen girls here is what we're looking at. Yeah.
Yeah, even younger than that. That's kind of indicative of the era.
Moss just yells, Emily, and she appears ready to do his dirty work. Yeah, she's the one that comes in from the hall every time. He's like, Emily, escort this person off campus or something.
Yeah, she's the police.
Yeah, so you hear that there's just not much going on again at the game. And Baby T says, what is this, Falcons versus Patriots? Yeah, no kidding, right? At the half.
Oh, yeah.
And so they she's put off by it because she's like, I could have helped them cheer for the game. And then Connie kind of looks around and she says, this is the playoffs, for God's sake. Joe Rita, she runs over and grabs the bullhorn from Joe Rita. Joe Rita says, my bullhorn, what are you doing? Connie gets up and she goes, somebody has to light a fire into this crowd. And then she goes, Connie, get back in formation this instant, or you can say goodbye to that uniform and a guaranteed 7 candid photos in the yearbook. She runs up into the stand.
A guaranteed 7 candid photos.
Candid photos. She looks around at the bored crowd. The radio guy says, this season's been some kind of roller coaster, folks. We have losing streaks. And then Connie says, ready? Okay. When I say go, you say Longhorns. She is the only one advocating for what Peggy had set in place, And from inside the stadium, the fans go, Longhorns. Connie goes, Arlen. And then from back on the truck, Peggy's like, wait, Hank, do you hear that? And then we hear, push that ball with all your might. Arlen, Arlen. Peggy's like, I taught Connie that cheer. Then you hear, fight, fight, fight. Push that ball with all your might. And then the announcer comes over the radio. Seems like there's really something going on in the Landry stands. Fans are going nuts. And Gribble's running down the field. Unbelievable. And then we fade out to a big banner that just says, go Arlen.
Go Arlen.
Uh-huh.
Ah, there goes me liver.
Aha, there goes me liver. Okay, there's a difference here. After the credits, on Hulu, well, actually, in the script, it says, oh, there goes me liver from Bobby. But on Hulu, we hear, I really did stay sweet from Peggy.
Yep.
So I don't know if they thought it was racist, but if they did, they had already played it. So I'm not real sure what they were trying to save there.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that is King of the Hill Season 8, Episode 13, or in the year of our Lord 8 ABE 07.
That'd be the one.
Yeah, and Cheer Factor aired March 7th, 2004. You want to tell them where they can find us if they want more of this?
You can find us at BWAAAKOTH at all social media. Yeah, that's where we're at. You can email us at BWAAA, that's 3 A's, KOTH, at gmail.com. Go ahead and send us an email. I will read it. I might read it out loud, and I might mention who you are and say thank you for sending us an email.
Artie
Also,
says fun fact, Peggy is soured. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, you're good. Also, we have shirts coming up. There's a poll right now on the Instagram, still live as of this recording. And go on over there and go give it a vote.
Yeah, the 3 shirts are, you look at the Probot, he looks at you, you think, hey, things are going to be okay. That's with Hank. You see the second one being, yeah, college wasn't for me. They made that very clear from Bill, or that dang old money's like the wind, man. Only feel it when it's moving, man. And that's from Boomhauer. I think you said that last one was leading the way right now.
Yeah, is there any way you could get the silhouette of Boomhauer's head and have it made out of $100 bills and then have the letters that kind of like go over the top of it?
We're gonna do something. Yeah, we'll do something.
Yeah,
it won't just be the quote. There'll be a design that goes with it, and I'll probably decide on the design. Might send you a couple of them, and you can kind of help me decide on those. But
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I just want to know which quote to start with, and so this does it for us.
Yeah, so far, Boomhauer is out in front, leading the pack as we speak.
Yeah, we'll decide that on the Friday episode, and we've got that coming up. So if you're in the chat, just stick around, and you'll be part of that episode as well. But just want to say how much we appreciate all of you. Artie, Baby T, Ghetto Cowboy. Let's see, who else was here this morning? Those are the ones. Oh, Paul 3 Official. We had
R. McLean.
Yep. We had blah, 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 blah. Several people in here this morning, and we appreciate all of you guys being here. And I believe that leaves us with one thing left to say.
We Matanye.
That's exactly right. And we Matanye indeed. We'll see you next time, guys.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.